The time has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ty, and I'm very happy to announce that Dead Island 3 is on the way. Out of nowhere, it was revealed that a new Dead Island project was now in development. Some people speculated that this could be another DLC for Dead Island 2 or Riptide type spin-off. However, that's very likely not to be the case here, as it was heavily implied to be Dead Island 3 without them directly saying it is. Only one picture for the announcement was released, showing Jacob, one of the playable characters from Dead Island 2, leaving LA behind. So not only will the next game be located somewhere different, as I'd hoped to be honest, but also the crew we played as in the second game will likely be back too. Or Jacob walks off into the sunset and that's it for them. However, I think we'll be following their journey further. To be real, there are still a lot of unanswered questions from Dead Island 2 that I hope they clear up. Maybe we'll be tracking down Tisha to finally put that cliffhanger to a close. I mean, the girl has the cure inside of her, so I wouldn't be surprised if the story revolves around finding her and preventing future outbreaks. Because I believe LA is really the only zombie-infested city with it being quarantined off by the government. However, an outbreak does end up occurring somewhere else, which has been said by Deep Silver. Plus, I gotta mention DltaStudios, the developers of Dead Island 2, and they're also back for Dead Island 3 as well. But where does the outbreak occur? Well, we don't really know. However, Jacob's suitcase could give us a bit of a hint. Although, the hints are kind of all over the place. There's an LA sticker, a Coliseum sticker, which is based on a real location in Italy, an Ireland sticker, which is interesting because one of the playable characters, Danny, is Irish. But there are also hints of returning to Benoit, the island from the first Dead Island game, where it all began. There's a Visit Benoit sticker with an arrow pointing right at it, and then there's also Kangaroo, which is heavily tied to Australia, which Benoit is very close to. Imagine if we actually get to see the resort all these years later. There's so many possibilities. Apparently in the Solar DLC in the second game, there's newspapers that point towards Benoit being rebuilt, but don't quote me on that one. Now, don't go expecting to see gameplay anytime soon, it's still early in development, but the team just wanted to thank you all for the support and let you know that the next game won't take another 10 years to come out. Which, if you don't know, is what happened to Dead Island 2. It took 10 years, 3 different studios, experienced a long era of development hell, but we actually ended up getting a pretty good game, which you normally can't say for these circumstances. The gore alone is the best I've seen in any game ever, but I do have to say, it'd be nice to have some human enemies to fight against again too. They were actually planned for the second game, with there being escaped prisoners, a biker gang, but they eventually met the chopping block. Looking back at all that old concept art, I do hope they find a balance between the small-scale levels that we ended up getting in Dead Island 2 and the more open-world levels that were found in the first version of Dead Island 2. I still go back and play it sometimes, because if you don't know, there is a playable build online, but you didn't hear that from me. Another thing I hope they improve is the card system. It's something that never really did much for me personally, so I hope they find a way to make each ability card more interesting, or just give us a skill tree. I'm fine with that too. Not really sure if that's a controversial take, but they gave us a skill tree in that Horde mode for Dead Island 2, and that worked pretty well. Also, with Dying Light the Beast about to release, it does make me wonder how they'll improve upon their Fury mode. Part of me hopes they go more insane with it, embrace the chaos, let us go full prototype and tear through crowds of zombies in our way. Although, it'll probably be on Unreal Engine 5, so expect a solid 20 FPS. Nah, just kidding. I mean, not really, but with Dead Island 2, it was fairly optimized, so I'll keep it optimistic. Anyways, I made over 150 Dead Island videos over the years, so you know I am very excited for this announcement. We'll potentially see an actual reveal at the Game Awards in a few months, that's my guess. Very likely just a cinematic trailer to give us an idea of where it'll be located, like we saw for Dead Island 2. But what do you think? Are you excited for more Dead Island? What do you hope they change from the second game, since it's the same developers? Talk about it all in the comments, as that's it from me for today. Feel free to like the video, subscribe if you want, and stop by for the next one, folks. Adios.